Setbacks in life can happen at all stages and all ages. For children, it's never impossible to wipe the slate clean and pave the way for better times to come. Well, here to share ways we can help our kiddos become more resilient is Florence Ann Romano, child care advocate and co-host of Finger Painting the Future podcast and the Windy City Nanny web series. It's great to have you back.
I love being with you. So thrilled to be here.
So it's true, things happen to us all.
Right.
And they can happen to us when we're young, when we're old.
Right.
But especially when you're young, it doesn't mean that paves that path for you for the rest of your life.
Resiliency is something we all have to practice. I feel like I have to do that sometimes every day, depending on what happens. But our children, I feel that we're in a world now where failure is like the other F word that, you never want to say. Don't say failure. But it's important that kids learn failure. It's important that adults learn failure. And a different way for saying that, I think, is saying resiliency. It's putting it into being something active and something positive. But we need to remember as adults that we have to model that resiliency, and that children also have to practice that the same way we would. It's an exercise, and we have to give them the tools to do that.
And also not saving kids from making mistakes sometimes, because
Right.
a lot of times, when they do something that they shouldn't have done, well, you
Right.
can't just run in there and correct the situation. They need to sit with it and understand cause
Right.
and effect.
Well, we've all been there where, you get to school and you realize that homework did not make it in the backpack with you. And, you want to call mom or dad and be like, can you bring it? I need it. And, it's so difficult to say, no, I can't do that. But there is a lesson that's going to be learned in that moment, because when your stomach drops like that, man, you don't forget that. I mean, I can bring myself right back to grammar school with that. So it's that idea of not always saving, right? Too. I mean, oh my gosh. So,
Yes.
I mean, it's the idea of just remembering that they're going to remember that moment and learn something from it. And then going forward, maybe they'll be a little more responsible. Maybe
Right.
they'll be a little more aware. So it's just creating those lessons.
Yeah, I fell down a lot when I was in grammar school, and I ripped a lot of tights. And there came a time where Layla wasn't going to get a replacement pair. I'm going to have to spend the whole day with ripped tights.
Oh, gosh. And yeah, what did you learn from that, right? You're like, okay, I'm just going to watch my step a little bit more.
And to stand up on my own 2 feet and to not fall down all the time.
There you go. Exactly.
But the thing is parents can be that role model. Caretakers can be that role model. So what should they be doing to kind of show kids this is how you should be?
Well, managing your emotions can be difficult. We live in a world now where everything is really stressed out and everyone's on one side of the pendulum and the other, and it's all very severe. No one's living in the middle anymore, and it's hard to see black and white. And, you hear that old phrase, I agree to disagree. Well, I don't think anyone really does that anymore. Everyone's just, disagreeing and angry about
Sadly,
it. So you have to take inventory of yourself. What am I showing my children when I get angry or something doesn't go my way? And also teaching children, or, as a parent, as a caretaker, whatever it might be, that I'm not perfect, that I make mistakes, and this is how I have failed, and this is what I've done in the future to correct that or learn from that. I think parents have this idea that they have to be this super mom or super dad or super nanny or whatever it is, and that means that they're perfect all the time. And the truth is, you want to find a way to relate to children, and sometimes showing the nooks and crannies of things that aren't so perfect are how they learn that they themselves don't have to put that pressure on themselves.
And when kids do something that they shouldn't have done, the question isn't to ask them, why did you do that? What should parents be asking their kids? A
lot more how questions. So instead of why did you leave your bike outside, no 8-year-old is going to come back to you and say, well, I was careless and forgot about it. Well, you left it outside and now it's rusty. So how are we going to fix that? Again, it's trying to give them these problem solving skills that they're going to have to use as adults. And that critical thinking, that problem solving, that's important in those moments. And you think it's small. You think these things are tiny, but they add up to big things in the future. This is how kids learn from the sandbox in those tiny moments.
Florence, thank you so much. This has been a pleasure as always.
Thank you. I love being here. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. We're back in 2 minutes.